my mom just called me and she said there's this boarding house not too far from where I stay, and it's like six or something rooms, and it's a bunch of guys renting out rooms, and it's like on a ranch or something like that, and she was like, how much do you think it is for a room? I said, I don't know. She was like $700, and she was like all excited, and she thinks like, oh yeah, like, isn't that a good deal? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, what do you think of that? I'm like, whatever. And I was like, I really, like, I told her, I'm like, with my new job, I should be able to make the rent. I'll be good. I made some mistakes this year, some really bad mistakes. And she was like, oh, like what? And I was like, oh, I'll tell you face to face. That's what I told her. Like, I'll tell you face to face. And she's like, no, I need to know now, like the anxiety and all that. And I'm like, I'll tell you face to face. I'm like, I got a bunch of like dishes to give you anyway. And she's like, oh, just tell me. I'm like, all right, here's what happened. I'm like, listen, like January of 2025, I was doing like some work under the table with the boss, smoking weed, which I don't smoke weed, but it hit the joint, got a super duper out of body, super psychosis on pot. And then I had been limping, so he was like, here, take one of these. My limping, my back was killing me to where I could only work. Sometimes I would leave like 6 hours in, leave at lunch. That's how bad my back hurt. So he was like, here, take one of these. I was like, oh, no, I can't do any drugs, you know what I'm saying? Because I come from Molly World, and like, yo, when you're out, you're out. If you make it out of Molly World with all your teeth, then you out, you good. You make it with your brain and all your teeth, that's amazing. A lot of people didn't make it like that. So so I just go and tell her, and so he gave me a pill. I tell her that my old boss gave me the pill. It's called 7-hydroxymetragynine, my tragedy. I took it, and like 3 days later, I asked for another one. 3 days later, again, I asked for another one, and I was completely hooked. And I said that's why I needed so much help financially this year. So it finally came out. Because I did not tell my mother or my sister. And the reason they would help me, they wouldn't shame me or anything. The reason why I never told them is because I didn't know how they were gonna take it, like after coming out of the Molly World experience, because that was absolutely insane. That was some real dark stuff. So it's out. My mother knows, and my mother's gonna tell my sister immediately. So it's out. The burden is off my chest. And that's it. We working.